The Third Birthday is a follow-up to the Parasite Eve games of the late 1990s and early 2000s, but the choice not to call it Parasite Eve 3 is a telling one. By significantly departing from those games in both story and gameplay, this third-person action adventure represents a fresh start for the striking heroine Aya Brea. Unfortunately, Aya's characterization here is a troubling one, and while some cool concepts make for occasionally exhilarating gameplay, stiff controls and some infuriating battles make this struggle to save humanity as frequently frustrating as it is fun. The Third Birthday begins in a near-future New York that has been ravaged by creatures called Twisted. Aya Brea has been recruited by the Counter-Twisted investigation team. Her role is to use a device called the Overdrive System, which sends her psyche into the past, where she can possess soldiers, changing the outcome of past battles with the Twisted to alter the present. Don't expect a plot that makes much sense. The Third Birthday is more of an outlandish exploration of themes like existence, identity, and memory than it is an action story. But the high production values of the cutscenes make the Twisted's attacks on New York City unsettling. Unfortunately, the character around whom this story revolves is a frustrating one. A tale like this needs a strong hero at its center, and Aya comes across as far too weak to support the story. Aya is one part action hero, one part submissive sex object, and it's a combination that doesn't work in the game's favor. All of the combat in the Third Birthday involves guns, but this isn't a shooter. With most weapons, you can lock on to targets automatically, so defeating enemies is often a matter of holding down the lock-on button and then pressing or tapping the fire button. The trick isn't hitting them so much as it is staying alive long enough to do enough damage to kill them. It's not just the many nasty varieties of Twisted and other creatures you encounter that make surviving tricky, it's also the rigid controls. You move Aya in third person, and her casual jogging speed doesn't suit the life and death situations in which she finds herself, nor is it sufficient for dodging enemy projectiles and keeping you away from danger. The ability to leap from soldier to soldier is Aya's saving grace, and it's essential to survival. Aya can travel instantly from body to body, so the death of the soldier you possess doesn't necessarily spell death for you. You can use soldiers up and abandon their husks in the final moments of their lives. Hopping around from person to person and from position to position is a fun and flashy mechanic that gives the combat a distinctive feel. This ability also has an offensive component. If you sustain an assault on an enemy for a period of time, a triangle icon will indicate that you can perform an overdrive attack, sending your psyche inside it for an instant and doing significant damage. And attacking enemies fills up a gauge that, when full, enables you to enter a state called Liberation. In Liberation, Aya's movements are blindingly swift, making for a liberating departure from her normally stiff actions. Unfortunately, this state is so short-lived that you barely have time to enjoy it before Aya returns to normal. Third Birthday sometimes succeeds at generating a great deal of tension, with situations that seem hopeless for a while, and in which your survival is rewarded by the opportunity to take control of a powerful weapon and mow down the Twisted who only moments before were slaughtering soldiers left and right. But often, the tension can boil over into full-blown frustration. Some monsters you face have a great deal of health that your attacks slowly chip away. They also have attacks that can wipe out all your health with a few hits, and your stiff movements make attempting to evade some of those attacks a frustrating endeavor. You might repeatedly find yourself nearing victory, only to fail and then be faced with the prospect of starting the long, slow process of fighting them all over again. Success in these situations brings with it a sense of relief in knowing that a painful step of your journey is over, rather than a rewarding sense of victory. As you advance from mission to mission, you earn experience and level up. You can also purchase and equip components that improve a weapon's accuracy, capacity, and other attributes. You also collect items which you can equip to grant Aya various benefits, such as increased defense and regenerating health. These customization options aren't very deep or involving, but tinkering with Aya's weapons and attributes makes for a pleasant little diversion between missions. Like its protagonist, the Third Birthday is beautiful and troubled, flawed and fascinating and frustrating. In addition, it's short, The irritating difficulty of some sections means that its 6 episodes may take a while to complete, but that issue aside, the adventure is roughly 5 hours long. Some will find enduring the flaws a tolerable price to pay to experience Aya Brea's strange journey, but she has some serious growing up to do before her next birthday rolls around.